Welcome to the Prime Life Project podcast, a place to help you unlock your full potential, both mentally and physically, to become the best version of you. Welcome back to another episode of the Prime Life Project podcast. I'm your host, Daniel James. And today, if you are listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or any of the other audio versions, you probably won't notice much of a difference. However, if you're watching on YouTube, you will notice that it is just me here by myself. I don't have all the fancy camera equipment. This is actually being recorded on my phone, and there is a reason behind that. So, Mikey, again, if you're new to the podcast, you may not know who Mikey is, but the regular listeners, Mikey, the videographer, is actually currently isolating. So we try to avoid this at all costs. What we've actually done is we've been really, really smart. We always pre-record episodes, so we've always got some in the bag. And actually, since Mikey's joined the team, I've actually been away on holiday. You wouldn't have known this because we've kept pumping out episodes. But then what we haven't done is we haven't actually been able to catch up to get more in the bag. So what's happened now is now Mikey's isolating. There's been no way for us to actually record a video episode of the podcast. So it's me today by myself. But what we've done is we've actually come up with a really unique way of putting an episode together for you guys. So you will still get some amazing value from this episode. But before we get into this episode and what's happening today, I just wanted to say a few things. I just want to say thank you for your guys' support. Your guys' support has been absolutely phenomenal. And a lot of you guys, since I brought Mikey on board, have actually taken the time to message me and tell me the difference you've noticed in the podcast episodes, how I've been, and how much you're enjoying the video side of the episodes as well. Because as I've been trying to say, I've got massive dreams for this podcast and where I want it to go. And only a few people close to me actually know what my plans are for the Prime Life Project and this podcast. Literally only a very, very select few people. Again, Mikey's one of them. I pointed to him like he's here. He's not here. Literally, anyone's watching the video that's literally pointed like he's there. He's not there, but in spirit, he's sat there in his little corner. And the fact that you guys have noticed almost like the upping of my game. Like I've always tried to produce the best podcast I possibly can. But you need to understand, I since day one of this podcast, I've been completely winging it. Just like everything in life. Like I say all the time in this podcast, and this is the thing hopefully starting to realise in this podcast now with some of these guests I'm getting, I am not perfect. I am still bumbling my way through, but I know where I'm going. I know the direction I'm going in, but I know where this podcast can be. I know what I want it to do, and I just want to help as many people as possible. And the fact that now I've got Mikey on board, the fact it's now costing me more money to do it, I have almost subconsciously, but kind of consciously, had to up my game. Again, I've been searching out some amazing guests, and hopefully you'll agree that the guests I've had from day one have been absolutely phenomenal. Like, I've had some unbelievable guests, and some of the stories that I've heard, I genuinely, I say this is a job. It's not a job because, again, I'm not getting paid for it. It's something I do because I love doing it, and I love doing it because of the feedback I get from you guys, and also the incredible people I get to talk to. For anyone that listened to or watched the last episode with Paul Cope, that just epitomises it for me. I sat there and I got to learn from someone that's so much smarter than me, articulate things in this way, and I learned from it. So if I'm learning from it, then I know that you guys will, and that's the ultimate goal for me, is just to try and add as much value as I possibly can. And hopefully, since day one, the long-time listeners here that have listened to me from the very, very beginning, the very first episode, to where we are now, hopefully you're taking on board what these guests are saying, because they're not all the same guests. They've got so many different stories and backstories, and each one of them's got their own unique, different thing they're trying to tell. And when I get guests on, I give them an outline, is that what it's called? Yeah, an outline, like an overview of what I want, an outcome. I give them an outcome for what I want the episode to give you guys, the audience. So me and my guests are on the same path. I want you to talk about this. I want you to provide this much value on this subject. So the person that's then on my, then the guest knows, right, this is what we're trying to add to the audience, to you guys. So hopefully you guys, throughout this journey that we've been on this podcast, you guys have leveled up. You're paying attention to what the guests are saying. Me, myself, when I listen to the podcast, that's why I've now added the video element in, because I love to listen to a podcast when I'm walking. I love to listen to them when I'm driving. But I also like to see what the host's saying. I like to see their mannerisms. And hopefully you guys that now see me understand when I swear, it's not ever done in an aggressive, angry way. I'm very, very passionate, and you get to actually see that. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted the Mikey to get on board with this and add the video element, so you can actually see the passion that I bring to this. I absolutely love doing this, and hopefully you guys can sort of see that. For anybody that doesn't follow me on social media, by the way, Daniel_James_fitness, I'm going to get Mikey to stick that below. Don't forget to follow me on there. Any person that messages me on there about the podcast, you will get me. I will respond personally to that. Also, whenever you guys leave any sort of comments on the YouTube videos, again, that's me responding to that personally. So, again, a few people have been commenting on the episodes. That's me that's responding to you. That's me personally. I really, really appreciate that. And if you're wondering how you can keep supporting the podcast, again, a few things you can do. Leave us a review. So, if you're on Apple Podcast, leaving us a review would be absolutely incredible. Again, on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, smash the thumbs up button, click the subscribe, and leave some sort of comments in there as well. Also, tags on Instagram. So again, on Instagram, if you're listening to on YouTube, Spotify, whatever it is, just screenshot it, tag us in it, so we can repost it. It just helps us get more audience, like more eyes onto the podcast, and then finally just sharing it. The whole thing, like we said with this, is that I don't want to be running adverts ever at any point. That's not where I want to go. The way the podcast has grown as much as it's grown, and again, it's grown incredibly. I can't thank you guys enough. But the only way it's grown is through you guys and your word of mouth and talking about it. And with some of these episodes, even if it's the older ones or the new ones that's coming up, if you take any value from this episode or any of the previous episodes, just share it with a friend. Just say, oh, have you listened to this? Or this may help. Because that's what it's there for. Because sometimes it's hard, especially if you yourself struggle with mental health. Sometimes it's really, really hard to articulate what you're saying, what you mean, how you're feeling. And that's what I'm trying to do with these episodes. I'm trying to have it as a way that if you can't articulate it or whatever it is, you can just listen to this episode. Listen to this episode and you'll kind of understand what I mean. This is the journey I've been on. My story is similar to this person. Whatever it is, or if you know someone that's struggling and you don't really know how to help them, just be like, oh, I think this episode may help. Or I think following down on Instagram may help. Whatever it is, just help us spread the word, because you guys are doing such an incredible job of that. And again, I really can't thank you enough. And it humbles me. So I've got some incredible guests lined up. I've actually got a whiteboard behind me. Got some incredible guests lined up. Unfortunately, we have to move a few around. Obviously, Mikey being in isolation, but it's not a problem. This podcast is going to keep on growing. It's going to keep on getting better. Me and Mikey got some amazing plans. Got something potentially big lined up for the end of this year. Touch wood. We're just seeing what the situation is with everything. But yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome if that comes out for us. So I just want to, before we actually go into today's full episode, where today's episode is Mikey. For some people that don't listen to the full episodes, because I know some people flit in and out, at the end of every single episode, what I try to do is ask the guest the same question, which is, what advice would you give to someone that is struggling? And what Mikey's done is he's going to pull the clips from the episodes since Owen Hunt. So the Owen Hunt episode up until Paul Cope, he's pulling them from there, and he's also adding in some of his favourite bits as well. So you're going to get a bit of a collage today, just to add, again, some value to you guys. Some stuff you may have heard before, you may have missed it, but it's all there for you. But before we roll into that, I just wanted to say, stop fucking listening to other people. Just stop fucking listening to other people. The amount of stuff that I've got coming up my way for the podcast, again, talking to schools, is just one of the things. The amount of people that still do not understand me, understand this podcast, or understand the Prime Life Project baffles me. And I mean people really close to me. People don't get it. And if I'd listened to people, this wouldn't be a thing. This would not be a thing. I would not been able to talk to some of these amazing guests, and I would not be in schools. The amount of people have said stuff to me. Oh, you swear too much. Oh, you're too assertive. They say. I'm like, it's passion. Oh, you talk too much. You mumble. You can't do a podcast. Oh, it's never going to work. Are you sure you want to pay money to Mikey? Are you sure you want to get this stuff on the wall behind you so it looks better? Yes, motherfuckers, I am sure. Yes, I am. I fucking am sure. Don't listen to people that haven't done what you want to do. I've got people that don't even know that I'm alive, and I can guarantee you that they back me more than some people that know me. Just think about that for a second. There's people out there that do not even know that I'm alive, don't have a clue, but they would back me more than some people that are actually close to me. Now, I understand they want you to play safe. I understand that. I completely understand that. And again, sometimes I need reining in, which again is why Mikey's not a yes man. I need support. I need people around me to say, is that a good idea? Is this a good idea? Smart idea? No, that's stupid. Awesome. But when I've got such big dreams and goals from the very, very start of this podcast over a year and a half ago, and people tell me it's a stupid idea, you spent so much money on it, blah, 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 just fuck them. Hopefully people are starting to see now that I'm serious. The fact I'm now getting into schools, I've been into schools. The feedback I've got was absolutely incredible. And it's just going to get better and better and better and better. So what are people telling you in your life that potentially is holding you back, that's potentially keeping you scared and not even trying? My advice to you, as I've said in previous episodes, back yourself, I think the episode was called, it makes sense. You do need to back yourself. Have faith in your ability to execute. Do you really, whatever it is you're trying to do you really want it? Do you really believe in yourself? If you do, then do not listen to the doubters. Because they'll be the same people that when you start to succeed, they'll be asking, oh, can I be a guest on your podcast? Oh, your podcast's doing really well. Yeah, well, no thanks to you. And it frustrates me so much just hearing how sheltered people are because they're so afraid of actually trying, because other people that don't understand and have never done it are trying to keep them safe. As I said, we're just getting started with this podcast. We are just getting started. We've got some amazing things lined up, and hopefully all you guys will be here along for the ride. As I said, appreciate your support massively. You guys are absolutely awesome. I'm gonna let Mike E roll the tape. Let Mikey roll the tape. God, I feel like I need more coffee today. It's the heat. So again, I'm recording this on Sunday, and again, I've got the small little fan in here. It is ridiculously hot, so I blame the heat. I'm gonna let Mikey roll the tape for the previous episodes. I'll see you as always next week. Take any value from today's episode. Don't forget to like and share it with a friend. Stay amazing. See you guys next week. Final thing. What's one bit of advice that you would give to someone right now that feels stuck and out of control in their life?
I would ask them to reflect on a time when they were really happy and ask some questions about that time. Where were they? Who were they with? What were they doing? What was on their mind? And really just sit and think about that. Live that situation. And from there, like, our memories are fucking powerful, right? Like, that's why I wake up in the morning and I just think about, like, I can think about my friend Ben or whatever and how awesome he is, right? And I'll just think of him, and it'll make me feel warm and fuzzy. Even if I, didn't do even if I didn't wake up at 5 a.m., like, I'll still beat myself to death because I woke up an hour late or whatever. No, I mean, sit down, think of a time when you were very happy, you were very fulfilled. Feel what that feels like, and ask yourself a few questions about that. Why were you happy? Who were the people around you? What were you doing? And how can you recreate that? Is there a way? I totally understand the whole, like, hey, cheer up, mate. Like, it's like, fuck you. When you're in that state, like, you're in that state, and we do get addicted to those emotions. That's just how it is. But if we can take that and just be like, well, there was a time, was there ever a time? Was there a time when you really felt you were at the right place at the right time? When you really felt like in control, when you felt like you were in the pocket creatively, or whatever it is that you want to feel, right? How have you felt like that in the past? Bring that into mind and start asking yourself, because like you said earlier, when you ask that question, and this goes 100% into joke writing, is like, when you ask yourself that question, your subconscious mind is searching for the answer, and it will find it eventually, right? It will ultimately find that. So you don't have to answer the question immediately, but ask the question. It's like, if you have a premise, it's just kind of battles on your mind. And then one day, bam, like, it hits you, and you like, oh shit, so you don't have to have that. You don't need to rush it, but just ask yourself at a deep level, like, when did I feel, complete or satisfied, or like I was on my purpose, or, kind of whatever that is, if you're stuck, and feel that feeling. You're allowed to feel it. Like, it's your fucking birthright to feel good in your body. I don't care what's going on out here. You don't have to succumb to any of this shit. It's your birthright to feel it. When I was in that conspiracy wormhole, that was every day for me, was just like, like, I could just barely get out of bed. Everybody had power over me, right? Like, it was terrible. But even if that were true, you still don't have to feel the effects of it. And so going back to those pendulums, that's really what they feed on, is that emotional energy and that attention in that sense. You can still call a spade, but you don't have to like be drained of your good energy. That's for you and you deserve it.
I could not have put that any better myself. I love asking that question. And Owen, I just want to say thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, for coming on and just being you and being everything that I knew you would be. It's been absolutely awesome. And genuinely, I know my audience should have taken value from this. Even I'm going to go back and listen to this again because, which I do anyway, but I mean, really taking some notes there because just the way you articulate things, which is how I originally connected with you in the first place. I just love how you articulate things. You take these big, crazy subjects, and I love how you articulate and talk about them. And you're just very, very real. You're very, very raw, and you're very, very honest. And I know my audience will appreciate that. Where can people find out more information about you? I'm going to put the links in the show notes. And again, it'll be there on the screen on YouTube. But where can people find out more information about you?
Sure. They can go to my website, bootsygreenwood.com. And there's links to pretty much everywhere there. I'm pretty active on Instagram and YouTube, and my handle's the same across because my name is Owen Hunt, and that's a famous character on a TV show here in America called Grey's Anatomy. And so if you Google that, you know, they say if you want to hide a dead body, put it on the second page of a Google search. I'm on like page 75 because of that guy. So I went with my stripper name, which was a cat that we had, and the street you grew up on. That's the formula. So Bootsy Greenwood is kind of so, and nobody else has that name. So, so if you Google that, you should be able to find me. And I'd love to talk to anybody who's interested in learning more about waking up to their purpose and doing that type of thing. Like I said, I'm not trying to withhold things. I really want people to embody their true. It's in all our best interests. So 100%. Yeah. So I just appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on. I had a blast yet again. I was so excited when I got back home and I was like, Daniel James is on the calendar tomorrow. That's amazing.
It's just bizarre how quickly it's come about. And like I said, just how everything's just panned out. And the fact that actually you're now my first video guest as well. So people can actually see you as you are as well. It's just that whole thing about it and how it's all come about. Just honestly, absolutely incredible. And like I said, I am forever grateful to sort of have you in my life. And again, I know my audience now would appreciate everything you've imparted on them, and again, be giving you a follow and stuff like that. Honestly, Owen, thank you ever so much. And like I said, I'll be chatting to you again very soon.
Dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm around. Just let me know if you need anything, dude. I'm happy to help.
Absolutely. Take care, Owen.
All right.
Yeah, because you've got no self-respect for yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's like you drinking, for example. Like I don't drink. I've not drank for nine years. When I first started, people tried to push. I had a very good reason. I can't even remember if I spoke about this on this podcast. The reason why I don't drink is because I got really badly beaten up. I was in America. If I didn't talk about it on the podcast, that's why. Really badly beaten up, might have been the thing. Beaten up when I was in America. And I made that decision that I did not want to be out of control of my body again. So literally from that moment, I decided not to drink again. And I haven't. I had a very strong reason to do that. And I knew why I was doing it. And I stuck by that word. So when people try and say to me, oh, go on, you're boring. Don't give a fuck.
It's the same with like healthy eating, innit? Like, in it.
Oh God, you can take the girl up Huddersfield.
Up the north. But no, it's the same with healthy eating. When people try to eat healthily and stuff, and then it's always like in the office and Karen and Susan, oh, why are you eating that rabbit food again? Oh, have some cake. And it's people wanting to push down your boundaries and convince you to, and it's usually because it's highlighting something within them that they're uncomfortable about. Maybe they're uncomfortable with their diet. Maybe people are uncomfortable with how much they drink. And seeing somebody else exercise those boundaries makes other people feel uncomfortable. It's the same with like social media, online dating, things like that. Like it's being like available to people 24/7. Just because you have your phone switched on 24/7 doesn't mean you have to be replying to messages.
And you feel guilty. The problem with boundaries, you feel guilty when you say no. When you set your boundaries, the problem is why people let their boundaries slip. It's because they feel guilty.
Yeah.
They think they're going to lose. They think they're going to lose their friends.
She's not in the room with us. God bless her soul. But Charlotte is a good example of this because like Charlotte is my coach, so like she does like my training program and stuff for me. And if I have a question, I'll message her, and I know she might not reply within like a day or so, but that is because she isn't in that work mode, and she's like mentally said, okay, I'll reply to that at this time. Whereas I could get really like, oh, why hasn't she replied? Hello, and then she'd feel really bad about it. But I just know, all right, I've sent that message. She will reply to it when she's able to. And I've started doing that myself as well. Like if I'm not mentally able to give someone the information they need at that moment, or like emotionally able to give them that information. And it's so bad because I have so many unread messages, and I will then reply to someone in a different platform. So say it's a text or a WhatsApp, and I've ignored them on Instagram. It's like, I've not ignored them. I just mentally have compartmentalized it, and yeah, I've probably forgotten about it. But it's because I can't process
when
it.
It comes to coaching, and this is what I do, and this is the key thing with this. And I'm glad that you said that you the way you respond to Charlotte is that, because it reminded me of something. So all my clients talk to me on a completely different app. So it's not WhatsApp, it's not Instagram, it's not email. They have a completely different app. And I make sure that I message them when I'm in the right frame of mind, because before I had no boundaries with that. So I'd be messaging friends and family members on WhatsApp. I would know that the clients could see me online. I would then feel guilty, and then I'll start messaging them back. Now, a lot of my clients come to me because mentally they're not in a good place. So whether that's like mental health with themselves, whatever it is, their mental health isn't in a good place and they want fat loss. And again, the way that work is get the mindset right, blah, 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 blah. So most of the time when clients are messaging me, it's quite deep and can be quite heavy. If I'm not in the right frame of mind for that, I am not then the best version of me for them. So I then have to set a boundary. Right, this is now where you're going to message me on Signal. My then boundary for myself is I will only check that app when I'm in the headspace to check that app. If I've got a quick 2 minutes, I'm in a rush, I'm not going to check that app to message a client back, because then they're going to get the best version of me. Final question. What advice would you give someone right now that's been listening to this podcast and say, Dr. Bob, you've been absolutely brilliant. I understand exactly what you're saying. You give me some really usable information, but I'm struggling and I'm stuck and I feel out of control. What advice would you give to someone that does feel stuck and out of control?
Well, you want to reach out to someone that can help you get out of that. I'm a huge fan of mentors, of coaches. Sometimes the reaching out is just a book. You know, for years, my January 1 routine was I would read my highlights of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know, I probably did that for 20 something years. And, you know, it started out in my teens. I thought, my gosh, I don't have very many friends. Why is that? And so how about how to win friends and influence people? Well, to have more friends, you should be a friend, right? Be a better friend to have better friends. But ultimately, the wisdom of the universe is there. Find a person that seems to be further along the path than you are. And if they are, you know, the type of person you want to interact with, when you ask them for a little bit of advice, they'll freely give it. You know, I had a multimillionaire in this morning, and I had a colleague reach out to me. He's got an invention that he wants to bring to market. And so I asked my multimillionaire patient, would you be willing to talk to this person? He says, of course, I'm always willing to talk to people. And guess what? When you see the best of the best, they're always willing to do that. And so just reach out, send messages out, find someone that's in a little better place and get that nudge in a little better direction and keep building on it. And by the way, this podcast will be a great way to do it, because obviously you're bringing in some great information and adding your unique, wonderful, enlightened perspective.
And that's exactly what you did to me. You just reached out. Again, just reaching out, trying to help people. And again, your message was really, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. When you initially messaged me, I thought that you were reaching out to try and sell me something or something along those lines, happy birthday. And that's why I humored you. I thought, okay, Dr. Bob, I'll humor you. And then as the conversation went back and forth, and I realized this guy actually does care. Because first of all, I didn't even think it was you that was messaging me, because I've got a virtual assistant. So she reached out to people. I thought, okay, I'll humor you, Dr. Bob. And it became very apparent quite quickly that it actually was you that I was talking to. And that's when I was like, this guy's the real deal. I need to talk to him. And talking to you right now, you have absolutely blown me away. And I genuinely mean that, because you see people come across a certain way on the videos. It's very, very easy to fake it. It's very, very easy to pretend that you're happy. It's very, very easy to pretend that you're knowledgeable. But what you've just done here on this podcast is demonstrate the kind of person that you genuinely are. And I feel very, very humbled to have spent this time talking to someone that clearly knows their shit. They clearly care about people. They clearly care about adding value, and they are genuinely amazing human beings. I just want to say thank you very much. This genuinely, for me, I know my audience will have taken value from this, but for me, genuinely, this has been awesome. And I really, truly mean that. And it's been an absolute pleasure to be talking to you. We'll get technically this afternoon for you, but this evening for me, it's been absolutely amazing. So I just want to say thank you very much. Where can people find out more information about you?
You know, I should get better at keeping up on my website, as you found my bio was behind, but start with thedrbob.com, THEDRBOB.com. There's a couple of different links that'll lead to it. Also, drbobrakowski.com, but that's a good start. I also have a public figure Facebook page. And, part of my mission is to try to add a little value, a little positivity to the world every single day. And I want to thank you for helping me with my mission. And I've enjoyed every moment of this.
I'll make sure that that Mikey puts the thing across the bottom, because again, your last name, and make sure that it's there across the bottom of the screen so people can actually get that. And again, all the links will be in the show notes, so you can go check out Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob, again, thank you ever so much for your time. Have an amazing afternoon, and I know that this will not be the last time that we speak.
I look forward to our next time. And send this to me. I'm gonna share it on all of my Facebook pages. So thank you.
What's one bit of advice you would give someone in a summary that's struggling right now? Just listen to this, struggling. Just one bit of advice right now.
I just believe that there is another way. There is other way. And you have the tools inside you right now to access that, and they're all there all the time. It's just you've not been given the key to open the box yet, and I really believe that. I think it's inside all of us. We've got the answers. We just need a little bit of help on the way, and there's help out there for you.
Everyone needs help.
Everyone needs help.
Everyone needs help. But this is the thing. I can't do what I want to do on my own. I need that team around me, which is why I brought you on board. I can't do it on my own.
Yeah.
I can't. No matter how good I think I am, no matter how good you think I am, I can't do it on my own. No matter how much passion I've got, I can't do it on my own. Everybody needs some help.
Yeah.
So just take the hit on the ego, just reach out and get some help. I think that's absolutely fucking beautiful. Mikey, where can people find out more information about you? Because you've got your own amazing podcast I've been a guest on.
Bless you, man.
What's your podcast? What's your social media?
Awesome.
One of your social medias, mate. You've got about fucking 50, so give you...
I'll give you two, because if you want to see any of my music and the poetry I've been doing, it's Rhythmical Mike, and that's on everything. Just type in Rhythmical Mike. There's not another one.
Well, sorry, you're going to put it across the bottom of the screen,
Yeah,
so it's going to be there.
Rhythmical Mike. Rhythmical Mike. And we also, me and Chrissy, have a business which is the Old Farm Bus, and we put on events and festivals and workshops there, and we're just doing what we love with that. So the Old Farm Bus is not another one of them as well. So
awesome, mate. This has been an absolute pleasure. Like I said,
you so
people
much,
are going to see more of you on the podcast. You're not going anywhere,
just
but
waving in the corner.
No, yeah, just like we'll give you the microphone
I'm
next
so
time.
happy, to be honest, Journey, man. The people I've listened to already on these podcasts, I've been going through your catalogue now as well, and it's just a blessing to be a part of it. I really thank you.
No, mate, and you're helping take it to the next level. So, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm looking forward to the future and what we're going to create.
We're having it large.
Have a good day, mate.
Big love. Cheers, man.
Andy, I'm really cautious of your time, so I've got one final question to ask you, and it's what I ask all my guests. What advice would you give to somebody that feels stuck and out of control in their life right now?
And there are a lot of those people, to be fair. I think if you just downgrade it a bit and just, I think it's got to have empathy for people who are really struggling at the moment. Personally, I've really enjoyed lockdown. It's forced me to slow down, and I've reconnected with family nature, and I've enjoyed not commute and all that. But I know some people have hated it, and some people are very lonely. So I would say there is an element of those three little words: you are enough. Right? Even when you think you're not, you really are. I know it's hard to believe sometimes, but you are enough. All the resources you ever needed to have a fantastic life are already inside you. The matter is, the challenge is to find them and to tell yourself a better story. But there are people struggling, and even happy people struggle at some point. Everybody, some mad statistic like 1 in 3 people are going to have some sort of mental health problem at some point in their life. So it will strike a lot of people. But even when you think you're not enough, you absolutely are.
That's the one thing I also love about you, especially in your latest book with Paul McGee, again, Happiness Revolution. You never ever claim to be perfect. You are literally a doctor of happiness, and you very rightly say that you don't always have good days. And that's what I love about you, because I don't have, nobody on this planet is happy 24/7, 365, and you wouldn't want to be. You even mentioned that in the book. You wouldn't want to be. You don't want to be happy at a fucking funeral. Like, it just makes no sense. You don't be happy when your favourite football team loses.
I'm a Derby County fan, mate. It's the biggest blight on my life. I thought you were going to take the piss much more than you actually have.
Oh, do you know why? It's because I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. I actually said to 3 people today, I said, the first thing I'm going to do is rip them about the 2019 playoff finals where Aston Villa, which is my team, beat you guys. So, but my thing with that is, I just want to quickly summarize that. We said about you are enough. So everyone knows that I do my affirmations in the morning. Again, I've got loads of these things. The last thing that I say is, I'm in the process of, and I basically turn around, and the last thing I say is, I am enough. And that's non-negotiable for me. Yeah. It's an absolute, I don't need to try and convince myself I'm enough. I am enough. And I think if people can realize that and just have that small grain of light, just to realize that they are enough and hold on to that, it's going to make a massive, massive difference. And I'm so glad you said that, because I don't think any of my guests have actually said that and used those words. You are enough at the end. So I'm really, really glad. Michael Logier, that's his name. Fucking hell, that was going to annoy me. Michael Logier, the law of attraction. That's where I learned it from, the affirmations. But the biggest thing for me is I'm enough. It's an absolute non-negotiable. So I'm so glad you said that. Cool. That's a game changer. So where can people find out more about you? Again, we're going to put all the links in the show notes to the books, but where can people find out more about you and everything that you do?
Yeah, we've got artofbrilliance.co.uk. That's our sort of businessy website. And we've got Brilliant Schools, brilliant.school, which is our education website. So we're trying to get this on the curriculum. That's the thing I'm going to do before I die, mate. We'll have positive psychology, teaching kids this stuff so that it can be more resilient and happier. And then all the books are on Amazon. If you put Andy Cope into Amazon, there'll be a whole load of books. All, as you said, on exactly the same subject, just trying to come up with a slightly different way of saying the same bloody thing.
They are brilliant. Honestly, they are. The Are Brilliant is, again, brilliant. And like I said, the second book, like I said, people that know me, I'm dyslexic. I struggle to read. My birthday was June the 9th. This book came out June the 10th. So it's been a perfect birthday present for myself. I literally didn't realize you had a new book out until I was researching you on Saturday. I thought, for fuck's sake. So I literally then had to buy the book. It came on Sunday, and for people listening, it's now Wednesday, and I've not put the book down since. And that tells you something about me, my ability to read, and the fact that I have smashed it out. So honestly, Andy, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. You have been absolutely everything I knew you would be. Do you know when you say about meeting people that they're like almost like your heroes and they let you down? You most certainly haven't. If anything, I think you're even cooler than I thought, because you're exactly how I imagined you to be. And that's the most important thing for me is when you read in these books and people write these things and you see them in real life, you think, fuck's sake, you're not like that, but you genuinely are. You are these books. How you are and how you come across in the books is the same person. And that is a rarity to find these days. So again, I know I've done a lot of bigging you up, but I genuinely mean that. It's been a pleasure.
Up, mate. Thanks for that. No, it's been great. And I think, we'd like to say right at the start, we're in the same business as just trying to nudge people towards being a better version of themselves, physically, emotionally, mentally, the whole package.
Andy, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
But this information is invaluable. There's one question I ask all my guests. What advice would you give someone that's listening to this right now that is struggling? What bit of advice would you give them?
The first thing this is something I've learned to do a lot over the past few years, is trust my instinct. So whatever answer comes up first, I do this with clients all the time. I'll ask them a question and their brain wants to kick in, and I go, no. Tell me what came up. And the first thing came up, which is, as it was interesting writing the book, because it forced me to really put things into a structure. I don't coach in a structured way. I go with however the client needs, whatever they need to talk about, and we work through things. But when I started putting it into a book and then thinking about all the clients I've worked with around the world, and I started thinking about what are the key points in this, there are two huge parts before you even get into all of the stuff we've been talking about. One is to take responsibility for your life. And when I say take responsibility, I mean take radical responsibility. So everything. We are raised, again, the society we're raised in, wherever we look, we are always pointing the finger at other people. We are always blaming other people for everything. And I always say to people, it's a bit like when you're eating a cream cake when you're trying to lose weight, or you're drinking beer when you're trying to change your life. In that moment, it feels better. Like it feels like it's helping, it's nice, but it doesn't last very long. It's just like another addiction. When we take responsibility, the problem, jumping around, the problem with that, eating the cream cake, drinking the beer, blaming other people, is you've got no control. If you blame everybody else for everything that's going wrong in your life, you're helpless. And that's why it feels so painful. By saying to yourself, no, I am responsible for everything, every little thing that happens, all of a sudden it's empowering, because now you can do something about it. Whatever is wrong, you can do something about it. And the second, and maybe even more important thing, which I bang on about constantly, and it ties back into what we were saying about the footballers before, is be kind to yourself. Like one of the biggest problems we have in life with it, which is the low self-esteem programming we've had, is that when I look back, when I first started doing this work, at the way I used to speak to myself in my own head, I was horrible. horrible. And I would call it things like drive and ambition and determination, but it was none of it. It wasn't. That's just what life tricks us into thinking it is. It's just self-hate. It's just being mean to yourself, and you don't need it. So actually, being kind to yourself is huge. And there's a counterintuitive trick to this. And I say counterintuitive a lot in the work I do, because so much of this stuff, people are like, really? I'm like, I promise you. The Be Kind to Yourself program that I talk about installing people's minds, we have to start it somewhere. And the problem most of us have, including me when I started this, was when you hear be kind to yourself, when you catch yourself being mean to yourself, your next reaction is to go, oh, you idiot. Like you're not meant to be mean to yourself. Well, all you're doing now is self-hating the self-hate. So the trick is to be kind to yourself at whatever level you catch it. So wherever you catch yourself being mean to yourself, even if you catch yourself being mean to yourself for being mean to yourself, for being mean to yourself, when you catch it there, go, that's okay. I'm just a flawed human being like everybody else. And sometimes I'm mean to myself, and that's okay. Because that's the first step of being kind to yourself. And then slowly you unwind it and you get to the top level. So now, no matter what happens in my life, no matter what mistakes I make, no matter how badly things go wrong, I go, you know what? Sometimes I fuck up. I try my best not to. It's important to say, this is not like a get out of jail free card to run around pissing on everybody else's life and being a twat. This is do your very best to be compassionate and good to other people and to do your best in life. And if you make mistakes and if things go wrong, that's okay. Be kind to yourself. Think about, this is the best way to picture it. Think about that little version of you, that 3-year-old. Think about what you'd say to them if they made a mistake. If they were struggling, you'd put your arm around them, you give them a hug, you say, it's okay. It's going to be okay.
Mate, fucking... Oh, Paul, mate, every part of this podcast, you've just impressed me more and more and more. Oh, fuck's sake, man. Paul, where can people find out more about you?
I appreciate it, by the way, mate. It's nice to hear.
And again, my audience knows this. I don't do this. I don't just put shit like this on. And I'm being completely genuine here. How you articulate this stuff, the analogies that you use, and how you make it so fucking simple that it's like I've literally just had light bulb moment. Because a lot of my audience would have picked up some stuff you said there about being kind to yourself. I talk about this all the time. Like a lot of this stuff that you've spoken about, I talk about it all the time. But what you've done is you've taken my understanding of it to a deeper level. Like, and again, I know it fucking on a deep level. But sometimes I think I've maybe overcomplicated it somehow. And what you've done is you've somehow simplified it and then deepened my understanding of what I know. And I'm genuinely in shock because I didn't expect this today at all. Sorry, where can we find out more about you?
So the book is about to launch in the next couple of weeks.
Is there a pre-waiting list or something people can get onto that?
No, but like my whole thing with this, and the reason I've written the book is there's only so many people you can coach one-on-one, and it takes a lot of energy and therefore is quite expensive. So I wanted to get this out to as many people as I possibly could. So I'm relaunching my YouTube channel and my podcast with the launch of the book. And you can get the first 4 chapters of the book for free, completely free, no strings attached. So you can download the audio version if you prefer that. Listen to those first 4 chapters. If you don't like it, if it's not for you, you can scrap it. No, never have to hear from me again. My whole aim with this is to get it out to as many people as I can for as low a cost as I can. So to get that, go to my website, which is paul7cope.com/free chapters. I'll send you a link to.
Awesome. We'll get Mikey to put it across the bottom of the screen so the audience can see that, and it'll be all in the show notes as well. So all the links will be in the show notes, so you can click on that. Are you big on social media at all? Do you have any social media handles?
Yeah, so I am not at the moment, but it will be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the same. Paul with the number 7 Cope.
Awesome. Let's make sure that that's all put in there because again, I definitely would love to have you back on at some point because I feel like I've just scratched the surface with you. Like I said, I've seen your book, and again, it is fucking big. So I knew there'd be a lot of places we could go to today, I didn't know how deep we would go with some stuff here. So like I said, I'd love to get you on at some other point. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. Again, I know Mikey appreciated that as well. And I know my audience were taking so much value from this. So again, make sure you get on that mailing list. Again, check that out. It's completely free. Get the audio or reading it. And again, make sure you check out all Paul's social medias as well. Paul, this has been an absolute pleasure and a privilege. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, mate. Thank you for having me on.